Good morning, groovy citizens, and happy Motivational Monday. You guys, this is the first Monday in the new year. So not only are we in a new year, we're in a new month, and we're in the first quarter of the year. So y'all know how I feel about that. That means that whatever goals that you set for yourself, I need you to get them on paper. That's number one, and start working towards achieving those goals. And it's so funny because as I was leaving out the house, if you don't hear any noise, that's my defroster on, because as you can see, there's a little condensation on the windows here. Even though it's 44 degrees, it's going to go up to, I want to say 66 today, but right now there's a little condensation on the windows. So that's what you're hearing, the fan blowing. But anyway, I digress. And what was I saying? I don't recall now. Now, what was I saying? Oh, as I was leaving out the house, Willie Jolly was talking. He was doing a segment on Fox 5, and he was talking about telling people to stop setting New Year's resolutions and start creating goals for yourself. He said, because the goals are that you set for yourself. Now, here's the key. You set the goals, but you also have to take the action to get them going, okay? You can't just write goals down on paper and they look good with all these stickers and all that other good stuff. You've got to actually do something. He said your goals are what is going to get you to where you want to be, not your resolutions. Okay. And so we're going to talk some more about that on Wednesday, because I want to encourage people about setting goals, because there's some things that you have to do. So you can't just take a piece of paper and write a goal down. No, you have to be specific about what that goal is. And so we'll talk more about that on Wednesday. So let's jump into today's topic, you guys. Oh, but before I do that, y'all, I got on the scale. Oh yeah, and your girl is down another pound. Now I know some of y'all thinking a pound, girl, whatever. No, let me tell you something, because I ate good between December the 1st and today. So I am happy to be down a pound. So that means I am creeping. And when I say creeping, y'all, I am creeping on to my desired goal weight, which is 165. I can tell y'all I am down to 173 now. So I ain't mad at all. I'm going to get there. There is no rush. Now let's jump into today's topic. So yesterday at church, honey, first of all, let me tell y'all, yes, I was physically in the building for our New Year's Eve watch night service, which actually happened at 6 o'clock in the evening, but that's neither here nor there. And I went yesterday for worship because it's the first Sunday of the year. So I said, you know what, let me go on into the church house, because I've been streaming from home and it felt so good. And I'm going to tell you something. What felt even better is when you have a church family that genuinely loves you. I cannot tell you how many people hugged me and said, Michelle, I am so glad to see you. I haven't seen you in so long, because they haven't. I haven't physically been in the building for worship since the pandemic started. And so it's a good feeling when people truly love you and they care about you. So thank you all so very much. And Dr. Mack, oh my goodness, when Dr. Mack gets up to preach, honey, she preaches. And her sermon topic was, I forget the exact topic, but she talked about how it's time to break some chains. And I thought, wow, that's deep. That is some deep stuff. And I needed to be here for that. Not that I couldn't get it at home, but getting it in person was just so much better. And so I wanted to talk about that. And the choir sang one of my favorite songs, y'all, and it's called Break Every Chain by Tasha Cobbs. When I tell you that song, oh my God, it just moves you. And so I just wrote down some of the words in case you're not familiar with the song. And she starts out by saying, there is power in the name of Jesus to break every chain. And she repeats that like 3 times in the beginning. But here's the part that'll floor you. This is your shout moment. When she said, there's an army rising up to break every chain, and that repeats 3 times. Y'all, I don't know what it is. It's just, can you just imagine this army, God's army of angels and people rising up to break every chain, whatever that chain is in your life? That's just powerful. I don't know about you, but it just does it for me. And then she sings, the chains are broken. And she repeats that 4 times. And she says, I hear the chains falling. And that repeats 7 times before the song ends. So it just really just keeps repeating itself, but it's so powerful. And that's why, and I wanted to share that with you. So today's topic, I said, is called, It's Time to Break Those Chains. It's time, I'm going to say it again, to break those chains. And don't be sitting there looking at me with a blank stare going, what is she talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about some types of chains. You have codependency, you have poverty, you have sin, you have addiction, debt, sickness, disease, rebelliousness, stubborn spirits, drugs, alcohol, fear, procrastination, uncertainty, unhealthy lifestyles, suffering, doubt, loneliness, negativity, pain, mental illness, cussing, etc., etc., etc. And those are just some of the pains. There is no real complete list, because everybody's those are just different chains, because everybody's chain is different. And so I just wanted to start out with that. And I said, all you need is faith and knowing who to trust and how to trust God. See, the problem is some of y'all walking around with these chains because you don't know how to trust God. Some of you all have the mindset that if I don't see it happening right now, that God is not looking out for me. God doesn't care about me. God's not working on my behalf. But I beg to differ. God is working things out. Because did you know that even before those chains became chains upon your life, God knew they were coming? Okay? And guess what? You're still here because God has been working in the background on your behalf, on my behalf, on our behalves. So don't sit there saying that God's not doing anything. You have got to activate your faith. And I've talked about faith not too long ago. Some of you just lack faith. You just lack faith, and you're going to have to work on that. I can talk to you until I am green in the face, and that would not be a good look, because I believe the Grinch is green, and that's not necessarily a good look on him either. But if you don't take what I'm telling you and run with it, then it's just going to be a mess, and you're going to keep dragging these chains around with you. 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, come on somebody, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. So I want you to make sure that you read Isaiah 41:10-13. Okay, please make sure you read that for me. And then I talked about how more chains to break are uncured viruses, abuse, broken homes, racism. Come on, somebody. We see that every day. Every evil hand against you, unemployment, bullying, failure, etc., etc., etc. That's why I said, and this list of chains I came up with as I was thinking this whole topic through, and that's why I said that there is no complete list, because the list can go on and on from heaven to hell, from east to west, from north to south. The list just can go on and on and on. But the thing that I want you to understand is this is your year. I'm not asking you. I am telling you, this is your year. This is my year to release those chains, to break those chains. Why? Because they're getting too heavy to carry. Some of you all have chains from 2021 that you brought into 2022. And if you're not careful, you're going to take those same chains that came from 2021 into 2022, and you're going to carry them right on into 2023 and so forth and so on. Because some of the chains that you have in your life, if we're honest, some of those chains you've been carrying around for a long time. Now, you don't have to tell me what they are. I don't need to know all of that. But what I'm saying to you is some of those chains are chains that you've been carrying around for a very long time. Well, I want you to let them go. I want you to let them go, because they've become too heavy and they're not helping you. All they do is just continue to tear you down. So I need you to let them go. So the 3 keys to breaking chains. Number 1, I said, know that God is patient. He is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. And you can find that in 2 Peter 3:9. And this is from the NIV version. So when I say God is patient with you, see, again, God knows everything. He knows that you've been dragging those chains around. He's being patient. He's waiting for you to wake up and decide, you know what, this is it. I'm not doing this anymore. I am not doing this anymore. Sometimes that chain that you're dragging around is the person that you share bed with every night. Ooh, come on, somebody. I just stepped on some toes right there because I could feel that one. Sometimes the chain that you need to break are some family members, some friends, and you're just holding on to it. I need you to let it go, but God is patient. He is patient. He has all the patience in the world. And he's going to wait for you to wake up and decide you're ready. See, God's not going to force you to do anything. He's a patient God, and I love him for that. Number 2, I said you have to look forward. As we grow in wisdom, it becomes easier to see the impact of hard living on ourselves. Ignoring the cheap thrills for something lasting almost always pays off, both in life and afterward. So what I'm saying to you is that you have got to stop trying to grab on to these cheap thrills, these easy outs, and just wait and look for that long-term thing. See, it's nice to have someone in your life because you don't want to be alone, but you know that person is not somebody that you can see yourself spending a lifetime with. So why bring them into your life just for, well, you know what? Let me say this, because I have talked about this before. People come into our lives for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. The problem is when you are bringing people, and I said people come into our lives. The problem is when you bring them into your life just for this season because it feels good, because you don't want to be alone. Y'all better stop it. You better just wait for the thing or the person that God has for you. Stop trying to just take anything just to have something for right now. And number 3, I said you must be on guard. Be on guard so that you may not be carried away by the error of the lawlessness and fall from your secure position. 2 Peter 3:17, and that's from the NIV version as well. So you've got to be on guard, because I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to the chains of our lives, sometimes they can creep up on us. Sometimes they just walk up and here they are right in front of our face. But sometimes they do creep up on us. But if you're on guard, you can see that train wreck coming and you can step out of the way so you won't get hit. But you've got to be on guard. You've got to be watching. You've got to be paying attention. You know, something else that I heard Reverend Wood say during the watch night service, and he talked about being intentional. That is my word for this year. As I say that, I need to finish putting together my page for my vision book that I'm going to do a video for. If not today, then definitely tomorrow. But we've got to be intentional. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to be intentional, more intentional, I should say, about spending time with God in this new year. Not that I don't spend time with God, because I do, but I want to be more intentional about it. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to be working on. But you guys, this is the year for breaking chains. I need you to hear me. Again, like I said, I didn't ask you if you wanted to. I'm telling you, you need to let those chains go. See, here's what happens. And as I talked about being on guard, when those chains first start to rest around your shoulder, they're light. And so you walk with pride and you carry them around and it's all good. But eventually over time, those chains become heavy and you find yourself walking and you're all bent over and you're looking down at the ground as you walk because the chains have just gotten so heavy. But it's time to let them go. It's time to break them and throw them into the sea of abyss, never to be seen again. I don't know what your chains are. I know what mine are. And I'm going to be working on getting rid of those chains. But the truth be told, we all have them. So if anybody tries to tell you they don't, they're telling you a bald-faced lie, because we all have chains. Sometimes it may be small things, sometimes it's big things, but we all have them. Listen, you guys, that's my time because I need to go get me some nourishment. But I want to, again, say Happy New Year. Have a blessed New Year. Go out there, live life intentionally, break those chains so that you can move on to the next level, because there's so much great out here for you. There's so much great out here for me. But if we don't break the chains, we won't be able to receive them. If you're new to watching my videos, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I am back on schedule. I will be doing car conversations Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah, I took a little 2-week break, but I'm back on schedule now. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of this motivational Monday. Be motivated. Find one thing, just one thing that motivates you to want to be a better person, or to do something different, or that motivates you, come on somebody, to break that chain. Just one of your chains, because I know you probably have more than one, but just one of them. I want you to go out there and promise me you'll do that. Y'all know the drill, you know the spiel. I love you to the moon and back, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do about it, because it will never change. I love you all. Take care, and we'll talk again on Wednesday. Until then, be blessed.